Hello, my name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document, no, I fucked it up. My name is Duncan, okay, hold on. My name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I make these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am. Today was an interesting day. Productive, different productive than what is normal. This is what I mean by that. 52 dials, I think it actually might be less than that. Yes, only 49 dials, technically. And 0 book demos. So the reason why that's okay though is because I held 3 different demos over the course of the day. I'll briefly go over them. The first one in the morning was a great conversation. What I liked about it, it was a video call so I could show off the software, but it also was a phone call because they didn't have their computer set up. Regardless, but there was a point where like they asked about my background, and then I had switched it to a face filter where it was like a mustache and cowboy kind of thing. I just liked it because it was an actual natural rapport building tool with the conversation, despite it being generally an unprofessional thing to do. But I found a way to work it in, so I was I was happy about that. The second one was at 2 o'clock, which is when the demo I booked for myself yesterday. Thought this one was going to be a really good one. Wasn't. The guy right from the beginning was just asking about price, wasn't having any of this. Seems like he's been on 1,000 different sales calls. I need to figure out how to handle those people or determine whether or not I should keep talking to them. Though at this point, I haven't hosted enough demos to really say that I have that judgment call, but you live and you learn. What I did do a good job of though is challenging the things that he said. Like, I think it just more was when he was trying to end the call or say, like there was one point where he's going like, I don't want to make a decision on the first call. It's like, okay, for sure. But specifically he said, I don't want to make an impulsive decision. And then so at that point I went, like, well, is this an impulsive decision? And like, it's not the question that I asked that's the incredible part, but it is the getting comfortable not accepting what they say to me as the truth and just like, okay, we'll go with that. Like to go, okay, well, is it an impulsive decision to schedule a time to consider a program with a professional and ultimately buy it? Like, that doesn't sound impulsive to me, if it's an effective conversation. So then that like, you could just accept that, but just being able to overcome the discomfort of saying that's good, because that will come in pay off later. Other things. And then the third one was also a weird one. The guy, but we'll see how it turns out. It seemed like the guy was a little reluctant to continue the call because he wasn't having a tremendous amount of success actually getting people into his book as clients. And if you're at that point, then everything's expensive. Like, if no money is coming towards you, then you're not feeling great about spending money. But so we'll see, like that pushed. It was another one that I pushed through. He was trying to get rid of me, or not get rid of me, but just avoid having this conversation. And I wasn't going like, you have to listen to me, but more like, okay, like, well, hold on, we've dedicated time here. Like, what goals do you have for yourself? And like, we'll kind of give a wishy-washy answer. Like, no, come on, like let's actually see if we could help you out. Which is, there's like it's like a delicate dance between being pushy and overbearing. No. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I know what I'm trying to say. I just don't know the words. I don't want to think about it anymore. So that brings you to the end of the day. That was the task. I just closed a thing I didn't mean to close. And opened it with sound. Was talking with my sales manager about the calls. He was getting feedback. He liked the fact that for the first guy, I actually said like, okay, why don't we put you down for a no at the end of the call? Which I felt like going like, was that a bad call? But he said no, because like there's 2 people. Either that guy is gonna be like, okay, cool, and then hang up the phone, which essentially is what happened. But that was gonna be the outcome either way. Or someone who's kind of on the fence, or who isn't fully committed to be able to say no. As well as then I actually come across as human. because then it's not just like, oh, no, just follow up with me. I go like, well, I'm only going to follow up with you if there's a reason to. Like the guy who I followed up with today, whom actually, like, the meeting was scheduled for 9, and he at 7 in the morning rescheduled it for 9:45 because he was coming from a place, and then at 9:05 called me and was like, hey, I'm like 10 minutes from home, like, can I call you in like 10 minutes when I'm in front of a computer? And it's like, good. Which there is like the follow-up is actually continuing the conversation and it's going somewhere, not just I don't want to say yes and I don't really want to hurt the guy's feelings, so I'll say follow up with me. I just don't want to think about it, just follow up. It's like, no, then I'm just being dismissed, and then I'm not going to follow up with you. But if you're actually interested in it, like, just it's a different sort of thing. But in speaking with the sales manager, he thinks that forcing me into the box that the script isn't working in my favor, because I'm spending too much time, and this is like, we had a conversation about this, but I'm spending too much time making sure that the conversation is fitting along the framework that it's supposed to, rather than actually having a conversation with a person. So then I was like, hey, what if I rewrote my own version of the script? And he was like, that's a good idea, like, send it to me and I'll make sure that it looks good. Which ultimately, like I'm looking at it going like, what would I actually change about the script currently? Nothing really. Like, fundamentally, I think there's just too much information for me. Like, I want there to be like it just like what I think generally what I'm going to go with is like, what are the 5 things I need to figure out about them, and what do I generally have to say to them in order to get to the pricing page? Because if I have these pieces of information, and then it doesn't matter how I ask the questions, I could like navigate that throughout. But more specifically, if the conversation gets off track, that I can get back to it. I think that's more what it is. I need the questions I need answers to, so that the conversation can remain in flow. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. I think I wouldn't critique the current script. I think there's just, I'm saying the same thing again. There's too much information for me to actually know what it is that I need to be doing fundamentally. And I'm trying to include everything that's there when that just doesn't, like, it's not realistic. And like, that's the feedback from the team. People make your answers more concise, like keep it simple. Which is cool that I'm not good at doing that yet, because it's like, hey, imagine what I'll be like when I can do that. I wonder how long it will take to actually figure it out. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm not gonna go skiing tomorrow because the weather is tepid. That's a fucking good. I've heard that word used except by my dad. Tepid water. More what I'm saying is that it's not cold enough for the snow to stay frozen. It's gonna be a little slushy, and I don't want to do that. I'll go next week. But hey, we're still having a good time. I'll talk to you later.